If he does impose that, there's no question, and I don't think it's just a mainstream economics view. I think even heterodox economists, everyone who's looking at this can see very clearly that the prices for consumers is going to skyrocket. That may have an impact on GDP, on unemployment, on inflation, of course. So there's a lot of knock-on effects, not only for trade globally, but just in terms of the U.S. economy. And so it's just simply the case that if you do targeted tariffs, like steel, et cetera, that have domestic production, you can actually see boosts in American consumption of American-made products. But if you see consumer durables which aren't made in the U.S., or at least a large proportion of the supply chain isn't made in the U.S., there's no way you can turn that around, especially when there's such an instability in the market. Investors are simply not going to start building factories. So what's going to happen is you're going to see a rise in the prices of consumer durables.
And you know, Mr. Trump supporters might well say, if they were here, look, suck up the short-term pain. America is going to see the benefits long-term. Make American manufacturers great again, they might say. Do they have a point?
Well, there's not much evidence to support that. I mean, if you're saying make America great again, you want to go back to the 1950s before you had sort of the 1970s and globalization. The problem with that is when they tried bits of this in, say, Trump's first term, they introduced tariffs on Chinese products. China responded, and you saw a collapse of, say, U.S. soy, because 75% reduction in soy, and it had to be bailed out by Trump. 2018, he introduced tariffs on washing machines. That increased the price of not only imported washing machines, but also domestically produced washing machines by $86, because you saw a kind of price gouging. Just like the eggflation report you just gave, a lot of it has to do with monopoly producers price gouging. They can get away with increasing prices, so they do, because they have no domestic competitors, and international competitors, the price is going up. So they don't match it, but they increase the price. So the knock-on effect of something like this, when you don't have internal investment, will be not just a short-term, but actually quite a bit a long-term, because there's no indication that in 3 years' time, when Trump is replaced, that these tariffs will stay in place, which means that investors aren't going to build the infrastructure that you need to produce in America.
Professor, good to see you. Thanks for that. Dr. Ashok Kumar, Associate Professor of Political Economy at Birkbeck, University of London.